You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to talk us in. I'm working on it.
This week on Fight Recap, Teixeira versus Santos.
Stay tuned.
Craziness.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton.
And this is Fight Recap. Dos Santos versus Teixeira. Or not Dos Santos. Santos versus Teixeira.
What did you say? Dos
Dos
Santos?
Santos. I'm thinking JDS.
We're going to jump right into it. Damn, Gina.
Greatest comeback of the year, I think. It's weird because it's not, because he was winning. I think he won the first two rounds.
It was like a double comeback.
Yeah, it was as close as you can get to getting the fight stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fight of where do we fight? Because they both proved, Santos proved he would win it on the feet, and Teixeira clearly proved he would win it on the ground, and it was just a matter of who can get who where faster.
It's crazy. Santos has been out for a while because of the injuries after he sustained in the John Jones fight. He comes back so sharp on the feet.
Yeah.
I mean, he was hitting Glover with everything. But Glover, I mean, the guy is getting better. And he's getting up there. He's getting long in the tooth. And every fight that he's had, his last couple fights, it's like we get proven wrong after the fight, during the fight, before the fight.
Yeah.
Because he's going against all young, hungry guys. And like what he did tonight was not supposed to happen. Right? It goes against everything.
Yeah.
The older guy is not supposed to be getting touched and tagged and almost knocked out and then come back and he caught him in a submission at the end of the second round.
Yeah,
and if it didn't end right then, he would have got it.
It would have taken maybe another 5 seconds. Maybe.
If that.
Yeah.
And then in the second or the third round comes out and we were talking like, oh, all Glover has to do is just win one more round. Because the best that Santos can hope for with a decision is probably a draw.
Because that second round was definitely 10-8.
Yes.
It had to have been.
And then Dos Santos comes out like, oh, yeah, unless he knocks him out, which is very possible. Comes out, drops Glover early. Drops him early. And then just landed fucking vicious ground and pound.
Just to give him credit real fast, he played that super smart. He knew obviously Teixeira was going to come out looking for a double leg because that was what he did the entire time.
Yeah.
And he read it immediately, stuffed it, and then almost put his lights out.
Yes.
So it was super smart. He just couldn't close the deal.
Yeah, I think Glover was out for a millisecond after he was landing ground and pound because he kind of not went limp, but you could tell those couple of those shots were bad.
Bad.
And
heavy hands.
What's crazy is I don't know whether this is a testament of like Santos needs to work on his ground game or Glover is just getting that much better because he fought John Jones and John Jones like he kept getting up, I believe, if I'm remembering the fight correctly. And John Jones people don't get up when he takes them down.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for guys to get up. Like they have to work for it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get up against Teixeira. Like he just couldn't do it. Now, granted, he didn't look like he was really trying to get up.
He didn't. He looked like he was trying when he was in full mount. And every time he was under the full mount, he got out of that pretty successfully and pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But maybe that was just like the one technique he trained. I don't know.
It almost looked like Glover was not Glover played it he's very fucking crafty, right? So it almost seemed that Glover was keeping positions that made him think he wasn't in so much danger that he had to really fight to get up. Yeah. But as soon as he got in full mount, then he would exert the energy to get out of full mount. But then he seemed content to just stay in half guard or side control. He wasn't really trying to get out of those.
Yeah.
And Glover, I don't know if that's Santos or that is a testament to how good Glover's grappling is.
I know.
But either way, probably a combination of the both, right?
Yeah. It's never just one thing.
But that's got to be one of the best fights of the year as far as comeback from near defeat of a fight you're dominating.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird in a good way. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those one guy wasn't completely outpaced the entire match. We were on the edge of our seats and taken aback.
Yeah.
Taken aback.
Yeah. What's crazy is that Glover's been in so many of these. Like, you can't expect these to not, because that fight could have been stopped several times.
Yeah.
You get a ref that's a little bit trigger happy on calling fights, and that fight gets stopped probably in 3 or 4 different 5-second scenarios there. One of his last fights against Kutalaba, the guy that celebrates excessively, and is kind of seems to be douchey, but might not be, the Hulk. Glover had the same thing. Got dropped, almost got put out, came back, did the same thing, and
I love it.
It's like, how many times can you get away with that though?
I don't know, because it's not getting
A
away
lot,
with
apparently.
it. It's not getting away with
No.
it. It's just doing it.
Yes, but it's what I'm saying is he's comes in so many fights. It's gotten so close to being stopped, but he's so good at recovering.
Yeah.
He's so good at recovering. It's like you get the wrong ref, and those fights are over. But this, he just beat the number 1 contender.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to bring up a good question for you. They have announced that Izzy is going to fight Jan Blachowicz next for the title. Do you like that, or do you think that's jumping the gun a little bit? And this plays into the whole, like, how does the seeding work? Like, because has Izzy ever fought in light heavyweight before?
No, not in UFC.
Okay, so I know how I feel, so I'm going to let you talk about how you feel.
Okay, so couple things. I think that, and this isn't talking shit in any way, I think that Izzy Adesanya would go up to fight John Jones if he had to, because Izzy's a fucking savage.
Yeah.
And he's that good.
Yeah.
But Izzy Adesanya walks around at like 188. He doesn't cut really anything to get to 185. He's not a big muscular guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to gain a lot of weight to go to 205, right? If he's there, he's going to be undersized. In which case, if he does gain that weight, now he's got to have a weight cut to go down to 185. I think it's going to fuck his shit up a little bit because those weight fluctuations sometimes impede guys. And part of Izzy's thing is being comfortable and loose, and he's got the same body for how many years now. So part of the reason I think he's going up, as far as I think, like I said, I think he would have fought John Jones anyway. But I look at this almost the same way as I look at when GSP came back to fight George St. Pierre for the title. I think George came back because St. Pierre had the title. Or because Bisping had the title. Because he thought that he could beat Bisping. And he thought that he could beat him in a way that people used to talk shit about him, where you don't finish fights and all this stuff. But if you put a different guy in the 185-pound, like Luke Rockhold or any of those guys, it's different. I think that Jan is not getting the respect from a lot of people that he deserves. But I also think we're in a weird state where the best 205er doesn't have the belt because John Jones left the division. So it's almost like the best 205er in the world doesn't have the belt because he left to go to heavyweight. So it's a different guy has the belt.
Yeah.
I think that right now, if they book the fight in a month, it makes sense because Teixeira's not going to fight in a month.
That's fair.
He needs to recover. I think it'd probably be beneficial if he recovered because it gives his head time to clear the cobwebs, time to recover from the clear abuse he took in that fight.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be a good idea for Teixeira to take this fight in 3 months.
Okay.
Because I think he needs to heal up from this fight. They'll take a huge toll on your body.
Yeah.
So I think if Izzy's going to fight Jan, sooner rather than later would be the time to do it. But I think that Blachowicz is a better matchup for Teixeira than Izzy is. I think Teixeira has a better chance of beating Blachowicz than he does Izzy. So if Izzy beats Blachowicz and Teixeira fights Izzy, I think that sucks for Teixeira.
Okay, that's fair.
But
real quick, how long ago was the Costa fight? That was about 2 months ago, right?
Probably.
I'm just trying to get the time frame because when I think about these things, I think about who's next, but I never really take time into consideration.
But not all fights are the same because Izzy didn't take damage in that fight.
That's true.
He didn't take hardly any shots. So that fight compared to this fight, Teixeira, in my opinion, a longer layoff is more beneficial. Now, if Teixeira came out here and knocked Santos out with one punch, I think you want to get back in there as soon as possible. Let your body recover from the weight cut. let your body have maybe a couple weeks to recover from the training sessions and the training camp, because going back to back is brutal, right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't have like these long camps, because injuries happen. But coming back from a fight like this, it requires more recovery, because you don't know what he tweaked.
Yeah.
You know, it's a rough fight.
Yeah.
So,
it definitely was a rough fight.
Yeah, I think that I understand Izzy going up. I support Izzy going up to 205 because it's a bold move. It's a legacy move, right? He's trying to build a legacy.
He wants the champ.
Yes. I think for Teixeira, he should get the next shot after that performance, beating the number one contender in the fashion that he did.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's the champ.
I agree. I'm kind of excited for him. I just don't want him to get stuffed out of the contender status, only because we were talking about he's 42. So
yeah, something like that.
Realistically speaking, this is his run. Like
yes, this is his last run.
This is his run.
Yeah.
So part of me was like, you have to give it to him. Like, don't wait on this. But like, you're right. He needs the time. So if they don't have anything planned within the next 3 months and they have a spot open for light heavyweight, then yeah, it does make sense. But any further than that, I would want to see Teixeira up next.
Yeah, I think that if they plan Izzy Blachowicz and it's within the next 3 months, do not take another fight.
Yeah.
Do not, and you're going to get shit for it from some people, but this is your twilight of your career. Even if you whoever you're fighting, if you do end up losing, you'd rather it be in a title fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
You get to go out on your shield on a title fight if you do lose. But so many times, guys have a guaranteed title shot, and I think it's due to the pressure of being looked at like they're afraid or that they're going to get looked down upon by the company if they wait. Obviously, there's an extent to that where if you wait too long, then you start getting a little bit, they call ring rust and whatnot. But for Teixeira, he's been doing this so long, he doesn't need to learn how to fight. He just has to go in there and fight, right? I don't think any of that stuff is going to be has an effect on him. He's been very active recently. So I don't mind, as far as a strategic standpoint, for him to sit on the bench until he gets a title shot.
Yeah.
I think do whatever you got to do, sit on the bench, wait for your shot.
I'd be curious about how it all plays out. I want to see him in there as quick as possible, within reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that do the title shot between Izzy and Blachowicz. Whoever comes out victorious with that, Teixeira gets to fight him. Because, dude, he's paid his dues.
He's paid his dues.
Everyone counted him out after he lost to John Jones and came back. We'd never think we'd see him fight for title again. Had a couple rough fights. He just had 5 wins in a row against all murderers, younger guys.
Yeah.
And how do you deny that guy?
You can't.
You don't. Even
at this point, you can't. He took out the first seed in 3 rounds.
Yeah, and I hate to almost bring in like somebody's name when it comes into like title shots and stuff like that. But he's already fought for a title. He's a veteran that everyone knows and is respected. He's never counted out of a fight, but he's not been the favorite in a lot of fights that he's been in recently.
And at this point, he's going to be the talk of the fucking town.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be saying his name.
Yeah.
Everyone who pays attention.
But then he comes in and does this. So, yeah, the guy's paid his dues. He's had a title shot. He's been around the block. Never says no. You got to give him the shot. Yeah. I think this is clear cut. You got to give him the shot. Yeah. That's it. He gets the shot.
I agree. Get the shot. Get the shot. All right, guys, what do you think? Should he get the shot or should he not get the shot? I think we're all pretty much going to be in agreement, but we want to hear your opinions. So let us know in the comments down below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, by the time you see this, we're going to be having a new sale up.
Yes, sir.
We constantly have new sales up going on at brodownpro.com. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff. By the time you see this, maybe we'll even have face masks because I'm going to be working heartily on that tomorrow.
We might even have a new line. Maybe. I don't know. It's not like we know.
If some slacker will get off his ass and finish.
Hey.
Hey. We'll catch you guys next time.
Later, guys.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all